Hey, I'm playing What Do I Know by Ed Sheeran, straight from the charts of the Morristown Uke Jam. So take the link in the video description, download the free ukulele song sheet, grab your own ukulele, and you can play along with me. After the video, I'll do a basic tutorial together with a slow motion close-up play along. And take note, I'm going to show you how to play two different versions of this song. I didn't write up two song sheets, a more complex and an easier version, because all you have to do to play the simpler one is the simplest version of these chords. This is a 4-chord song. That's all. I'm going to play up the neck, up and down different versions of the song, or of the chords. But if you just play the basic versions of each chord, and I'll show you how to do that, it'll be a much, much simpler song. Last things, if you like the video, please like the video with a thumbs up. You want lots more, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You want hundreds of free downloadable ukulele song sheets, check out our Dropbox, and then come play with us. 5, 6, 7, and ain't got a soapbox I can stand upon, but God gave me a stage, a guitar, and a song. My daddy told me, son, don't you get involved in politics, religions, other people's quarrels. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene. I know when I have children, they will know what it means, and I'll pass on these things my family's given to me. Just love and understanding, positivity. We could change this whole world with a piano, add a bass, some guitar, grab a beat, and away we go. I'm just a boy with a one-man show, no university, no degree, but Lord knows everybody's talking about exponential growth and a stock market crashing in their portfolio. I'll be sitting here with a song that I wrote, saying love could change the world in a moment, but what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment, but what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment. The revolution's coming, it's a minute away. I saw people marching in the streets today. You know we are made up of love and hate, but both of them are balanced on a razor blade. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene. I know I'm all for people following their dreams. Just remember, life is more than fitting in your jeans. It's love and understanding, positivity. We could change this whole world with a piano, add a bass, a ukulele, grab a beat, and away we go. I'm just a boy with a one-man show, no university, no degree, but Lord knows everybody's talking about exponential growth and the stock market crashing in their portfolios. Well, I'll be sitting here with the song that I wrote, saying love could change the world in a moment, but what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment, but what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene. You know the future's in the hands of you and me, so let's all get together, we can all be free. Spread love and understanding, positivity. We can change this whole world with a piano, add a bass, a ukulele, grab a beat, and away we go. I'm just a boy with a one-man show, no university, no degree, but Lord knows everybody's talking about exponential growth and the stock market crashing in their portfolios. Well, I'll be sitting here with a song that I wrote, saying love could change the world in a moment, but what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment, but what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment, but what do I know? What a sweet song. Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran, gotta love him. Okay. 4 chords. D, A, B minor. And what's the fourth chord? Is it really a 3-chord song? G, D, A, B minor, and G. That's what it is. Ain't got a soapbox I can stand upon, but I'm going to show the simpler version first, because I'm guessing 90% of you aren't going to be interested in playing up the neck like I just did. But if you love Ed Sheeran, you know, shoot for that. Learn the simpler version first, and then that. Okay, the strum is the only thing about this you might have, if you're playing the simplest version of each of those 4 chords, then I'm guessing the thing you'll have difficulty is with the strum. I just called it lots of irregular strum with lots of emphasized ups. That's because 3/4 of the chord changes, usually in a 4/4 song, 1, 2, 3, 4, usually you change chords on a down strum. It's like this. On all the down strums. Instead, this one almost every chord change is the ups. The very start of each, ain't got a pick, that was on a down, right? And also the second half. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene on. After that, it's all ups. You change the chord on the up strums, which is odd. And if you play those ups, those chord change ups, with a little more oomph, then that'll give some emphasis to those as well. That's why I said lots of emphasized ups. If you weren't singing along, then you wouldn't necessarily hear it, but it's because it's a 4/4 song, but the chord changes don't come on the 4/4. They don't come on the regular measure markers, They come just a little early. Most of them, the chord changes come a little early. I try to be very, very careful about where I put all the chords on the lyrics. So even if they look wrong, it's because they're early. Ed Sheeran actually changes the chords early. So, all right. Now, as far as transitions, I'm doing just the simplest versions. Again, you can ignore all the little superscripts if you want. This starts out with it's a D4, right? It's not a D4 chord. It's a 4th position D. Here's what that means. That's a D. 1. That's also a D. 2. Whoops, sorry. 3. That's what I call a 4th position D. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? That's where I started it. And then was in 4th position A. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I played it. So that's what the little superscripts are. They're notes to myself. Where am I playing this up and down the neck? But you could just play a D and an A and it'll work. And I'll show you how. Ain't got a soapbox I can stand upon, but God gave me a stage, a guitar and a song. My daddy tell me, son, don't you get involved in politics, religions, other people's quarrels. I'll paint the pictures, let me set the scene. I know when I have children they will know what it means, and I'll pass on these things my family's given me, just love and understanding, positivity. Okay? So here's how you do this. Chord transitions first, and then I'll get to the strum. Ain't got a soapbox I can stand. Oh, sorry. I already screwed it up. So from D to A, we're going to pick up all our fingers. That is to say, none of them are going to stay in place, but these two, your 2 strongest fingers, they're almost going to stay in place. They're just going to swap around like that, right? So you got your D, and then they swap around to an A, but then you have to pick them all up again. The way I form that B minor, I bar with my index finger, squeeze hard with my thumb, and put my ring finger. That's how I do my B minor. And then from there, slide back down to the A. And then from that position, your index finger is going to stay on the same string and just slide up 1 fret. So you can think of that as an anchor point. I'm going to slide up, right? It's got to be a quick jump, but I am going from there. I'm just sliding. See, my index finger stays stuck to the ukulele. It stays on that same string, just slides up. So, ain't got a soapbox I can stand upon, but God gave me a stage, a guitar, and a song. So as you're doing this back and forth, right, it's your index finger is staying stuck to your ukulele. Everything else is picking up, but your index finger, is just sliding up and down on that same string. My daddy told me, son, don't you get involved in politics, religions, other people's quarrels. I'll paint the picture. Now, you notice it's your ring finger. My ring finger is now the solid one because now I got my G. It stays on the same string and just slides up 1. See, it's the one that stays anchored to the ukulele, and you're just moving it there. So where am I going? I'll paint the picture, tell me, let me set the scene. I know when I have children, they will know what it means. All right, that's good enough. Okay, for all the chord transitions, that strum again. Tell you what, I think probably rather than trying to step through everything, I'm just going to go through the start of the song in slow motion with you before I even go over the harder version that I played originally. I'm in slow motion. I'm going to go close up, but far enough away that you can see both my hands. I'm going to play the basic versions of every song. I'm just going to play through the first chorus in slow motion. So if you're going to be playing this version, or you're going to be practicing this drum, you can play along with me in slow motion. You'll have an easier time with the chord transitions. Here it goes. Slow motion. 5, 6, 7, and ain't got a soapbox I can stand upon, but God gave me a stage, a guitar, and a song. My daddy told me, son, don't you get involved in politics, religions, other people's quarrels. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene. I know when I have children, they will know what it means. And I'll pass on these things my family's given to me. Just love and understanding, positivity. We could change this whole world with a piano, add a bass, a ukulele, grab a beat, and away we go. I'm just a boy with a one-man show. No university, no degree, but Lord knows everybody's talking about exponential growth and the stock market crashing in their portfolios, while I'll be sitting here with a song that I wrote, saying love could change the world in a moment. But what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment. But what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment. Okay, now about that up the neck. What I wanted to hear, because you can hear in that song. Whoops, sorry. You can hear that in the song, and I wanted to hear that as I was playing, so... Whoops. I started out wrong. Okay, the chord charts show all of the forms of the chords. But as I said before, this is a fourth D. 1, 2, 3, 4. All it is a B-flat shape way up on the 5th fret with a pinky down. Right? Ain't got a soapbox. Now you notice in this, I've got a lot of commonality between these chords. From a D fourth to an A fourth. I'm sliding down 1 fret. Right? I'm barring it here. But this is basically a G shape. Right? Like a closed G. Up 1 with the pinky dropped. So that's an A. Up on the 4th fret. Right? So it's 2 up from a G. So I wanted to hear. So I did it like that. I bar it. I drop that G. I drop my pinky. And you notice. From here to here. Ah, okay, I screwed that up, didn't I? From here to here. All right. It's hard when I'm looking so close, trying to do it in slow motion. My pinky and ring finger are almost in exactly the same position. They're not quite. My pinky was down, up an additional fret here, but these two are just sliding. This one's sliding 2 frets, this one's sliding 1 fret, and then I drop the other. So you can think of that as your anchor point. And now, It's going to be exactly the same shape, except I pink up my middle finger and I slide down 2 frets. It's a B minor with a pinky dropped. That's it. But so it's exactly the same shape as this, except I pick up my middle finger. That's all that changed. And now again, my pinky's staying there. I drop an A and I just leave my pinky, slide it down 1 fret, and that's an A. So, ain't got a soapbox I can stand upon, but... And now I'd go to a G, and yeah, I have to pick them all up and drop a G, but G is one of your first chords, so... Like God gave me a stage, a guitar, and a song, my dad... That's one of my favorite parts of the song, when you jump back up. My daddy told me, son, don't you get involved in politics, religions, other people's quarrels. Now, in this second section, the second half of both verses, when you drop that G at the beginning of each line, I try to give a little more emphasis, try to play with all 4 of my fingernails. So it's just not a fan strum, but it sounds a little longer, you know. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene, I know. Okay? Again, I like that part of the song, making it like that, but then also the D in front. I made the D bright red because you can leave that. If you have a hard time coming from here, you can just go, this is a G. I'm sorry, it's a D. This is a D, and that's a D too. But the way you hear it, he goes from high and then he drops down low, and it has that bum bum. It has that move in the beginning of each of those 3 lines. So if you can do that, it's an up-down strum, right? Up strum on the D, down strum on the G. But I put the D in bright red because you can skip it if you want. If you want to just play the D up here and then go straight to the G, it'll be easier to make those chord transitions. But it sounds cool if you can do it, so practice, you know? I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene, I know. When I have children, they will know what it means, and I'll pass on these things my family's given to me. Just love and understanding, positivity. And that's the whole song. The chorus is just more of the same chords in the same sequence. So I think I'm going to play the more difficult version, and I'm not going to show you my right hand. I'm just going to focus on my left hand in slow motion, close up, through the first chorus. So you can follow along also in slow motion if you want to practice those chord transitions. 5, slow motion, 6, 7, and... Ain't got a soapbox I can stand... I screwed up already. 5, 6, 7... And ain't got a soapbox I can stand upon, but God gave me a stage, a guitar, and a song. My daddy told me, son, don't you get involved in politics, religions, other people's quarrels. I'll paint the picture, let me set the scene, I know. When I have children, they will know what it means, and I'll pass on these things my family's given to me. Just love and understanding, positivity. We could change this whole world with a piano and a bass, some guitar, grab a beat, and away we go. I'm just a boy with a one-man show. No university, no degree, but Lord knows everybody's talking about exponential growth and the stock market crashing in their portfolios. I'll be standing here with a song that I wrote, saying love could change the world in a moment. But what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment. But what do I know? Love can change the world in a moment. That's it. See you Wednesday. Bye.